So about the debate last night, I kind of want to rant hardcore, and I'm sure many of you do, and I might do that later. But first off, I just want to point out that don't think we know the half of what Trump and his family go through on like a daily basis in dealing with stuff, as far as a lot of the stuff the media focuses on, and just kind of like the odds are kind of stacked against him. So he deals with so much, and I don't think we really don't know the half of it. So I don't think we give him enough credit with everything their family goes through and stuff that's just hard to navigate. Yeah, politically and just personally and everything like that. So I want to give him a lot of credit. We honestly don't know, guys. We have no idea what you go through as a president, especially a president that's dealing with a side that is kind of desperate to get back into control of some things. So I want to give him a lot of credit. It's tough. It's really tough. It's way tougher than we think. With that being said, some of the stuff was hard to watch last night, and I've heard some interesting points this morning on some talk shows and stuff about how Trump, that was his best play as far as interrupting, being combative, and like kind of poking the bear and getting Joe to admit that he's against certain things, whether it's the Green New Deal or that he's against socialism and stuff like that, which some people pointed out on his own website, and what he stands for is on there. So that's actually pretty brilliant, I'm not gonna lie, especially with whether it's socialism or climate change or stuff like that, is a big part of the Democrats' talking points and stuff they're pushing. So I think that was kind of brilliant. I didn't really think about that, but just the way he went about it, I literally caught myself saying, just shut up, Trump, shut up, let him talk. And part of me is okay with him, like, first of all, during the 2 minutes, like, Trump, during the 2 minutes, just be quiet. Like, you can nod your head, whatever, but don't like go up to the mic and say like you're about to talk. Just shut up. Don't say anything. Don't say nothing. Whatever policies he's gonna say, whatever thing, let him say it. That way people know. And if you want to poke the bear a little bit, that's fine. You want to bring up the $3.5 million after the 2 minutes, you want to bring up the $3.5 million that his family took, fine, great. But then be quiet, let him actually answer. Because when you're just talking over each other, it's down the crapper for both of you. So just being honest, just going from what I felt. Just, you can poke the bear a little bit, that's fine. Get him rattled, no problem. After your 2 minutes, if you want to do that every now and then, that's fine. But then be quiet. Hush. Let the people see what Biden's actually about, what he says, and then we can judge it off of that. Because when you're talking over each other, it gains nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. You can't hear, especially then, yeah. And I think one of the things that is important, one thing that Biden said that's important is, or one thing he said that's not important, is the family stuff, and that we need to focus on the people. He looked at the camera and said, we need to focus on you. And I hear what he's saying, but you know why it's important? Biden, and I'm really glad, I'm glad Trump touched on this. His family gets a lot of crap, so it needs to be done the other way. And one thing I think that it is important is for us as the American people to know, okay, what is a family okay with? Like, what are you okay with your kids doing? Like, to be honest with you, because if I know that in your household you're okay with your son or your daughter taking advantage of your position, or that there's some perks that come with it, sure, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying everything good that happens to them is bad, but if there is political money, stuff you're doing for favors that are wrong, guys, people need to know that. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay with your family doing that, people need to know. That's your character. That's what actually matters and what's important. So I think it's fun. I think it's important that he touched on that. And I think it's also important that because he has gotten such hash for his family and stuff, I think it's important that it's fair to both sides. I just want both sides to be compared the same way. That's my biggest thing, my biggest deal. So Trump, my biggest thing with last night, which it was just hard to watch. Look, we all know you can be combative. We know you're not here to go along with the status quo. We get that. We know that you're here to shuffle things up, that you're here to shake things up. We all know that about you. So I think now we know you're here to shake it up. You've been shaking it up with what you tweet. Honestly, I think if you would stay off Twitter, it would help. I think sometimes you're brilliant and you get people to focus on one thing when the other thing is actually more important. I think that's brilliant. But I think some respect and a little more balance toward respect and honor would go a long way now. We know you can rattle the cage. We know you can make a fuss. It's entertaining at times, but I think you can poke the bear and then back off a little more and really let them self-destruct, or let them give honest answers and then let the people decide. I think that would go a long way with what's coming up, just to show a little more balance. I think you'd win a lot more people over to your side. I think there's a lot of people on your side anyway. And also, it kind of seemed like you were the Trump, you were the underdog out there. It kind of seemed like you were the underdog. Dude, you won. You're the big kahuna. You won the presidency. You're the guy that can walk with confidence in what you did. You don't have to keep spouting off what you said. You don't have to point out all Joe Biden's like former failures, 47 years. I understand that. You're the big kahuna. You're the big dog in town. You don't have to act. You don't have to respond to everything that he says that's false. You don't have to respond to all of that. Just keep saying what you're running on, what your plan is. You can say some things that you've done, but also be honest about the things that you wanted to do but you haven't got done, and say, hey, this is something we wanted to do, haven't got it done yet, we'll keep working on that. And just be honest. Lay out the future game plan. There was so much on the past and stuff that's happened, and even like with your final statement, like there was so much stuff from the past and stuff that's wrong and yada yada yada. I get that, but continue to give hope for the future. Give hope. Give people an idea of what the future is going to look like with you, and then you can point to stuff you've done in the past, stuff you've done to solidify, to help, to say, hey, these are things that I'd said I would do, these are things that are important, but lay out hope for the future. Don't just focus on all the crap that's happened in the past or stuff that you're under attack for. Give people a vision for the future. That's what they want. Be strong. And honestly, if it'd be kind of nice if you wouldn't insult Biden as much. Honestly, make him like an afterthought. Like, he insults you, he does whatever, he makes claims about you, you can shake your head, whatever. You don't have to respond to anything. Like, honestly, it would be very refreshing if Biden would spout off for his 2 minutes, and rather than trying to combat everything he says, if it's true or not true, yeah. If it's not true, that's tough. But if it's not true, honestly, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Have them say, hey, fact check that, fact check what he said, here's my plan going forward. Honestly, don't even listen to some of the stuff that's false from him. Basically, make him like an afterthought, honestly. Because if you just don't respond to the falsehood, just say what you're about, say what you've done, say what you'll continue to do. Don't overdo it, but just say what you'll continue to do. And all the insults and all the falsehood that he spats, if you just don't respond to it, it's literally going to be an afterthought. It'll be like, yeah, Biden said this, Trump wasn't rattled. If it's false, he honestly didn't even think about it. He just said what he's about, and he's secure in that. It'll honestly make Biden look like an afterthought. So, anyway, because I think Biden showed more respect, to be quite honest with you. I think that's one of the biggest things Trump, one thing that's huge and one thing that's key is the amount of respect that you measure to other people will be measured to you. So basically, for you, if you will show Chris Wallace or whoever hosts the next one a little more respect, to completely honor the standards and the rules and guidelines that are given, you do that, it will be measured back to you. So basically, if you interrupt, you're going to get interrupted. But if you show respect, you show decency, you show that you're willing to play by the rules, it'll be done back to you. So that would be my encouragement. I'd love to be your coach. Anyway, I know there's so many more dynamics that I'm aware of. I know you have smart people around you. And I hope that, I know there will be a lot of discussion from here to the next debate. But, it was a little hard to watch at times, but we know what you're about, Trump. We know what you're about, and we know you can rattle the cage, poke the bear. Just show a little more respect, show a little more decency, and honestly, that will actually go a long, long way. So, anyway, that's the rant for the day, tip of the day, whatever it is. I believe you'll still win this year. I hope so. It's important that we all go out, show our voice, but ultimately, yeah, say what you're going to say, give vision, give hope for the future, and then let the people decide. Say, hey, Americans, you're smart. I believe in you, believe in this country, and I believe in a good 4 years what's ahead. So, and be very, one final thing, Trump, be very crystal clear on your answers. Like when he asked for, hey, Chris Wallace asked the question, you paid $750 for your in your income tax the last 2 years. Be very clear. If you did pay let him finish the question. Don't jump in. Let him completely finish, please. That would be, I would literally like start clapping out loud. I would like jump for joy if you let him finish a question completely and then just answer the question. Don't interrupt. Don't give your little finger thing or whatever. Just completely basic, calm, answer the question. If you did give millions of dollars in income tax, say, actually, Chris, I paid millions of dollars in income tax this year. And then when Biden says, well, show us your returns, then say, sure, absolutely. As soon as they are done, they will come out, and back up what you say. Don't spout off, oh, my other assets, I paid millions of dollars over here, over there. Somewhat you can do that, but just answer all the questions. Answer them clearly, answer them precisely, please. When people go off topic, and a lot of the topics that they started on, it got onto something else, answer the topics, even if you're under time. Just give simple, basic, straightforward answers, and that is what is going to help win this election for you. So if he says $750 and you actually paid millions of dollars, and say, hey, actually, Chris, I paid millions of dollars, here's the proof, or the proof will come out, then just say that and leave it at that. Don't go into all this other jazz. Just please hear the question, answer the exact question, stay on topic. That is what is going to show those that may not agree with you, that may not support you. That is going to show that you understand what's going on, you understand what's important, you understand how to answer and be clear with a question. That would be very nice. That would be so refreshing. For me, that would pretty much put it in the bag that you're going to win, and that's what's going to happen. So crystal clear with your answers, and even, yeah, with the whole question of do you condemn Antifa, white supremacy, yada, yada, yada. You said, sure, I would be glad to condemn those. And for a lot of people, I was listening to 106.3 this morning, and different people were ranting where, what more answer could he give? Like, he said, sure, I'll condemn those. What more answer could he give? I understand their point, but I would be kind of on the side of, hey, give yes or no answers. Trump, when you just say give yes or no answers, those are very clear, those are very concrete when you say yes or no. So like if he asks you, do you condemn white supremacy, Antifa, everything else he said, if he asks you that question, just say yes, I condemn Antifa, white supremacy, yada yada yada, and just say yes and condemn those, and then you're done. There's no room for interpretation. The more crystal clear you can be, the more precise you can answer questions, the less there's going to be for people to misconstrue, for articles to be written. I heard there was an article that said your answer wasn't sufficient or something. The less that will happen, honestly. So that would be my encouragement. Crystal clear in your answers. Please respect the host, and because when you respect the host, he'll respect you back. People will see that. That's what I was looking for. That's what I think a lot of people were looking for. Like, if you would have respected a little more, been a little more courteous of time and of the host, especially when the host is talking. Let's say you interrupt Joe Biden, or you, after the 2 minutes and you're completely silenced, after you poke the bear a little bit, then he answers, and then you rebuttal or whatever. When the host starts talking, please be quiet. Like, stop what you're saying and give respect to the host, regardless if the host has it out for you or not. People were saying that you, Trump, were debating two people. It was 2-on-1. Maybe, honestly, I thought you disrespected more. So, honestly, I thought it was good that Chris got on your butt. I thought that was good. But, anyway, maybe some of and I thought he was tough on Biden sometimes with some of the things he asked on the Green New Deal, and I don't remember specifics for sure, but I thought he was tough on Biden sometimes. Probably not as tough as you, so I'll give you that. But don't act like everyone's out to get you, even if they are. Just like, be the kind of guy that can take anything, and I know you take so much. I don't know the half, so I know it's extremely difficult, and when you're not in that position, you can say a lot of things, and yeah, we can judge it pretty easily, but we're not there. We're not you. You have it way tougher than we know, and so I want to give you a lot of credit. So anyway, but even if you would come out in the next debate and say, hey, you know what, Chris, I'm sorry I didn't honor the time last time that I spoke out of turn in the 2 minutes. My apologies. I will honor that completely this round, and my apologies. I did not honor you as a host and respect the guidelines that my group had agreed to, and I'm sorry, and I will do that tonight. If you would do that, my mind would literally be blown. Like, I believe you have it in you, but like, I think that's something that, like, after this last debate, with kind of how there was a lot of talking over each other and stuff, if you would do that, like, start out with like an apology and say, hey, I didn't respect time, I didn't respect you when you were talking, I'm sorry, I will do that this time. Like, you can still poke the bear at times after the 2 minutes, after you're going back and forth, whatever, but then when the host jumps in, like, just respect it and like move on. Don't throw in other crap that's not on subject. Like, if you were to do that and apologize and say, I'm sorry I didn't honor you, Chris, or I'm sorry, I will do better this time, that would literally be one of the biggest victories I think you could have, Trump, because you have your group that's really into the combative, the whatever, and some of that, and it's entertaining some, but if you were to balance it a little bit more, you would catch, your net would be cast a lot wider, and I think that would be absolutely amazing, Trump, if you would do that. Anyway, you're doing a great job. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Yeah, keep it up, keep working, keep doing your thing. Just answer honestly, be respectful, poke the bear when it's needed. Just walk with that balance, and I know you got smart people around you. I pray that God will give you guys wisdom in the next debate, and yeah, just be honest, lay out your plan, and then say, hey, American people, this is what I'm about, this is what I've done, this is what the vision of the future that I have, and then say, hey, you decide. If this is the America you want, vote for me. If Biden's the America you want, vote for Biden. And just leave it up to the American people, and believe in the American people, and I know you do, and call them out as for who they are, and believe in them, and believe in us, and that we're smart, intelligent, and because there's a lot of smart, intelligent people out there. And so yeah, keep doing your thing. Anyway, I'm done. I could go. I was gonna keep this at 10 minutes. It's at 18. Keep it up, keep rolling, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.